Hello everyone. In the earlier development of chemical thermodynamics, the major problem was to find a quantitative relation between del G and del H in a chemical reaction and to calculate del G from thermal data, that is the change in enthalpy del H. Nernst introduced Nernst heat theorem to deal with this problem. And now the entropy of 1 mole of any substance at a temperature T and a given pressure can be expressed by the following equation, which shows the relation between entropy at absolute temperature and entropy at particular temperature. Here S0 is the hypothetical entropy at absolute zero temperature. If S0 is known, one can calculate the entropy of a substance at any temperature from heat capacity data. By using the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, it is possible to calculate delta H by measurement of delta G. Since del H can also be readily determined calorimetrically, the calculation of del G from calorimetric measurements was attempted by T.W. Richards, Nernst and others. Richard determined the EMF of galvanic cell at low temperatures, showed that as temperature decreases, delta G and delta H approach each other, and at very low temperatures they tend to become equal. As a function of temperature, del G, that is the change in enthalpy, and del H, that is the change in enthalpy, and del G, that is the change in free energy, Gibbs free energy, are given by following equations, in which del H, it is the change in enthalpy, and del H0 is the change in enthalpy at absolute zero temperature. Similarly, the del G is given by the similar equation, where in place of del H we use del G, change in Gibbs free energy. According to the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, del G become equals to del H when limit T tends to 0. When T equals to 0, the left hand side of the above equation will be 0 whether the term in square brackets is 0 or a finite quantity. Nernst suggested that for a process in a condensed system, in the vicinity of absolute zero temperature, Nernst also suggests that del G and del H approach equality asymptotically in the vicinity of absolute zero. It means the equality holds good over a range of temperature in the vicinity of absolute zero. According to the Nernst, for a condensed system, when limit T tends to 0, the change in Gibbs free energy with respect to temperature at constant pressure becomes equals to 0, and when T tends to 0, again the change in enthalpy with respect to temperature at constant pressure also becomes equals to 0. Since del G with respect to temperature at constant pressure equals to the negative quantity change in entropy, and the change in enthalpy with respect to temperature at constant pressure is also known as the change in heat capacity at constant pressure. In the vicinity of absolute zero, when limit T tends to 0, the change in entropy will be equals to 0, and the change in heat capacity at constant pressure always becomes 0 when temperature tends to 0. This can be rationalized at any temperature. The difference between the two curves, for example, del G minus del H is equal to del S. When this difference is 0 in the vicinity of absolute 0, del S also becomes 0. So, this has been summarized in the form of the Nernst heat theorem. In the neighborhood of absolute zero, all processes should occur without any change in entropy and heat capacity. So, today's topic has finished here. Thank you.